Hi everyone, Shane here from Metro Punting. Today we're going to preview the Coolmore Legacy Stakes, otherwise known as the Queen of the Turf, at Randwick for this Saturday's Day 2 of the Championships. But before we do that, let's have a look at some of the past winners.
The three of them settle down to fight it out. Diamond Drill on the outside has put a head in front. Diamond Drill, a bit of an upset here. She'll just win it from Gypsy Diamond.
Adamanpour's holding captains and Noble Protector. Adamanpour's going to make all in the Queen of the Turf. Amanpour by 2 lengths to captain.
Ascadelia is just in front. Heavens Above can't pick up the leeway. And Ascadelia, quick ride by Damien Oliver. She takes out the Group 1 by 2 lengths. Foxplay and Dixie Blossomed. Zambar with the last shot. Foxplay hits the lead from the fast finishing Zambar, and Foxplay takes it out. Foxplay beats Zambar. Elise going after Prompt Response, and Elise the filly goes on to win, and Elise beats Prompt Response. Heavens Above at third. Dixie Blossoms powering home with Canedna. Canedna! Wow, Canedna has burst home to win it.
So there we go guys, that's a look at a few of the past year's winners of this race, the Coolmore Legacy Stakes, or otherwise known as the Queen of the Turf. Let's jump in and have a look at this year's running. So it's a Group 1 weight for age race for fillies and mares over the 1600 metres at Randwick. The predicted track rating is a soft 7, so we'll do our form based on that fact. Let's jump in and have a look at the speed map. So this is a race where it looks like there's a lot of speed engaged. There's 3 or 4 horses that want to go forward and a few that like to sit just behind. So we've got Miss Siska, Contipatiro, Amangiri and Positive Peace that look to push forward to lead. And we'll have Sweet Deal, Spanish Reef, Noir, Invincible Gen and Fun Star that will be looking to slot in just behind them. So if we look at my predicted settling positions after the first 200 or 300 metres of the race, got Amangiri leading, Positive Peace outside, Miss Siska, Contipatiro, Sweet Deal, Spanish Reef, Noir, Invincible Gem, and I'm predicting Fun Star might get trapped 3 wide in this race, so we'll make it a bit harder for her. Let's jump in and have a look at the past winners' stats. We've only got 6 years to preview here. This race was changed from Rosehill to Randwick in 2014 over the 1600 metres, so we have 6 years of stats to go off. Looking at the winning odds, it's a race where good price horses can win. We've had 2 at 20s, 1 at 40, 2 around that $8 mark and a $3 favourite. Days since their last start, 7 to 22, 14 being the most common. Starts before this race, 2 to 4. Finish position in their lead-up run, 2nd, 3rd or 4th place looks like the main placing at their last start. The age of the winners, 3, 4 and 5-year-olds are the most common. Then the in-run lane, as per most races, you want to be 2 wide or on the rail is the best chance of winning. So if we jump in and look at the system this year, so looking at horses that have placed 2nd, 3rd or 4th at their last race start, we've got Noir, Spanish Reef, Amangiri, Fidelia and Fun Star. Now we are trying to pick a winner here, and I like to look at last start winners as well, given we've only got 6 years of data. Winners win and losers lose in racing. It's a very common adage that I like to stick to. So we're adding to the list Natoya and Positive Peace. Lead up runs, so Natoya's had 2, Noir's had 4, Spanish Reef 4, Fidelia 4, Fun Star's had 3. Amangiri drops off here, she's only had the 1 lead up run. Days since their last run, 7 to 14 we're looking at. So Natoya's had 7, Noir's had 14, Fun Star's had 14. Spanish Reef drops off here and Fidelia drops off here. They've both had 21 starts since their last run. In run position, so we're looking at Natoya, Noir and Fun Star. If we jump back to the speed map and the settling positions, we've got Noir on the rail midfield suited. Natoya back worse than midfield 2 wide in the 2 wide running line, which is good, but I'm predicting Fun Star will be trapped 3 wide, so she might find it a bit tricky. So looking at the ages, Natoya is 6, Noir is 6, Fun Star's 3, and then the odds, so Natoya is $9.50, Noir's 16 and Fun Star's $3, so they're all in that range of $3 to $26. Now, this is a race and a distance where you want your horse to be proven at the 1600. As I've said before, the 1600 at Royal Randwick is a very testing race, distance and track, so you want to be proven and have no queries at the 1600. So Notoya and Funstar have both won this distance and this track. Noir hasn't, so she's dropped off. She hasn't won a race at 1600. The class, so as I said before, it's a weight for age Group 1 for fillies and mares. Notoya is proven. She won the Doncaster last Saturday, a Group 1 open handicap. So she's proven in the class, whereas Funstar hasn't yet run in this class. The weight, Notoya has got 57 kilos. She's won with that weight before in this class, so she's suited. However, Funstar has 54.5. She gets 2.5 kilos less than every other horse in the race. So that is significant. It might help offset the fact that she might be trapped 3 wide, but time will tell. Track conditions, soft 7. Both horses are proven in the soft 7, so they should both be suited. Suited by the speed map, well, as we saw in my speed map, Notoya's going to get back. If the pace is on, which I think it is, will give her a chance to get home over the top of them. And if it's a little bit slower, if Funstar's trapped 3 wide, that will be a bit easier for her. But if she can slot in 2 wide, then she'd have to be a chance in this race as well. Top jockey Glenn Boss jumps on Notoya. He's ridden and won on her before, and James McDonald has ridden and won on Funstar before, so tick for both of them. Trusted trainer, Funstar's trained by Chris Waller, #1 trainer in New South Wales and Australia, and Notoya's trainer is a bit like Takeover Target's trainer. She's getting a bit of a following now. This is a quirky horse that seems to have ironed out the problems and knows how to train her and keep her happy. I know she got given some pizza and some champagne after winning the Doncaster last start. But in saying that, it's important to note that Notoya has backed up from a 7-day run 4 times in the past, and she's won 3 of those races. So I suspect the fact that she's backing up from last Saturday is actually a positive for her. So she's a big chance on the quick backup. So jumping in, looking at the rest of the horses, Elise is the class mare of the field. This is her last race start before she goes off to the breeding barn. I suspect she needs a good track to show her best, and I think she may have come to the end of her racing career. Contempatiro is an interesting runner. She ran 6th in the Doncaster behind Notoya. She's weighted a little bit better than Notoya in this race, but I suspect the 1600 sees her out, and given that it's going to be a wet track 1600, it'll be more like a 1700 metre race, so it might just be a bit too far for her. Miss Siska's an interesting horse coming up from Melbourne. She hasn't started for 5 weeks. Like I said, this is a 1600 testing race, distance and track. So you want your horse fully fit and ready to go. The fact she hasn't had a race start in the last 14 to 21 days is a bit of a concern for me. Noir hasn't won a race for over a year. That's another rule I have, that I don't back a horse to win a race if it hasn't won a race in the last 52 weeks. And I won't back it until it wins again. Emangiri's an interesting runner. She's coming through the grades. She was an okay run last start, finishing 3rd. I suspect she might be a run short for this race. She's up in class, up in weight, so that's a double whammy. But she looks to be progressing well. And then Funstar, the favourite, $2.09 is short. If she slots in 2 wide, then she'll be very hard to beat. However, I think if you're going to back her, you'll get better on the day. I suspect she'll start around that $3.30 mark, and if she drifts a bit more, she might get out to $3.60. So if you're going to back her, I would wait for the day to get a better price. So Notoya on top for me, guys, $9.50. I'll be backing her each way. I think that's a good price. She's a good chance in this race. Funstar looks the hardest to beat at $3. If she drifted out to $3.60, I might consider a small saver bet on her. I'll probably Cornell of the 2 as well. So there we go. That's the preview of the Queen of the Turf this year. Hopefully I've tipped you the winner and you found it informative. If you did, please click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And good luck for the weekend. Happy punting.